Okay.
We can have fun all over again later.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't even think. I always need a reminder if I'm supposed to record.
I know.
Okay, so I'm Lindsay, Senior Ruby Ambassador with Plexus. I have been loving and sharing Plexus for 4 years now. You might see my husband bop through behind me. He likes to just bop around. That's what we'll say about him. He is an Enneagram 4, if anybody knows the Enneagram. So there is lots of bopping in his life, which I now appreciate, but it used to drive me crazy. So he is also full-time with Plexus and has his own Dave Ramsey financial coaching business. So he wears a lot of hats. And we have 4 kids, and we live on a mini farm, and we have baby chicks hatching right now. So that's my life. We have a lot of fun. So I want to give us just a minute to say hello to one another. We're so glad you're here. So scroll through the screens because there are a lot of faces. Those of you who hopped on, thank you so much for taking this time. We want to keep this fun, lighthearted. We want you to just get to know Plexus. We, I believe, are the very best people in the entire world. And so I firmly believe you have chosen the right group of friends. And we hope that you'll feel that way after you spend this night with us. So in the comments is there a chat going yet? Okay, somebody's gonna have to start the chat. So in the chat, I want you to say if you are a guest, who invited you, and if you invited someone, give them a shout out, tell them you see them, that you know that they're here, and you're so glad that they came, because we will be doing giveaways throughout the evening tonight. So your comments in the chat will give you chances to enter into the giveaway. I'm not even sure how many giveaways we pop them in spontaneously. So just be chat. We're gonna give you lots of things to talk about. So does everybody know where the chat is? At the bottom. If you're on your computer, at least it's on the bottom. And so you can click it. All right. So I would love for you to start with putting in the comments why you started Plexus. Why you started Plexus. What are you hoping to see change in your life? Maybe physically, maybe emotionally, maybe financially. Tell us why you've started Plexus. So that's your first activity to do over in the chats. And if you're a host, obviously make sure that you've said hey to your guest. Okay, so while you guys are commenting, we're gonna kick it off with Miss Paige. She's gonna tell us her Plexus story. Oh, do I have to unmute you or can you do it? I think you can do it.
I think I unmuted myself. I was too busy chatting. I was like, oh crap, now I gotta jump.
Sorry.
I was thinking about this earlier today, and when I did a live last week, I started thinking about how I was gonna start it, and there's always a song that comes in my head, and it's not the one that I did on the live, but when I wrote my testimony a while back, it was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song. Now here's a little story all about how my life got turned upside down. Just sit right back. I can't remember the rest. I always know it when I'm singing it, when he's saying it. But yeah, I didn't become the Prince of Bel-Air. I became sick, really sick, over a long period of time. I'm a teacher. I'm a mom. I was a full-time teacher. And what happened to me about 4 years ago was a perfect storm. I lost my job. Not my fault. Government changed funding and my career ended in a day, literally in a day. And during that time, I was struggling with IBS that was not diagnosed. I had gut issues that I didn't understand because I knew nothing. Zero about gut health, nothing. My hormones were going all over the place. My period was doing all kinds of weird things. That was never an issue before. What really came to a head for me is when I walked into a Costco one day and one of these waves hit me really, really hard. And I was holding onto the cart and I just withered to the floor. And I came to picking up the contents of my purse in the entrance to a Costco. Is there any place more public than that? I don't think so. Kind of like, yeah, TSN turning point. That's not going to happen again. I need help. And one of my friends who happens to live behind me, because I'm in LaSalle, Manitoba here, and Julie McNeil said, you've got to take these. Did I do it right away? No, stubborn. I said, my husband needs these. Got him started. And then I was like, oh, heck no, they're mine. Took them back, started taking the products, and I haven't looked back. And I haven't looked back because when you find something that works, you keep doing it. I was never good for following through with, you know, habits and regular things and all of that. I was busy. I was too busy to do this, that, and the other. When you're a teacher, you can't have bad days. You can't have tired days. You can't have sick days. Sick days for a teacher is a make work project. It really is. It's more work not to be there than it is to be there. So I needed to fix it, and I needed to fix it fast. It didn't fix fast. It fixed gradually and consistently, and then I got there. And it wasn't that long, considering how long I had suffered. Anxiety was also another very big one. I always worried that I never worried enough. Has anybody ever felt like that? You worried that you're not worrying enough, because if you're not worrying more, you can't care about it, right? If you're worrying more, it must mean that you care about it more. That's not normal. Like, it's just not. But I didn't understand the connection between my gut and my brain. I do now, right? And what I always say, and Heidi always quotes me, and it's not my quote, but I use it all the time, is when you know better, do better, right? So when you know that you have tools that you can use and you have people and friends around you who recommend things and say, this worked for me, try this, trust them. Trust them, because they have your best interest in mind. They want you to be better. They're not trying to sell you something. They're trying to help you like someone helped you. And there's nothing better than that. And you can't get that from buying, you know, stuff at Costco. I love Costco. I still love Costco, but I don't want to buy my supplements from there, right? There's a place for everything, and that's not it. I don't need a great big jug of something that's not going to do the work of what Plexus has done for me. So never going back, never intended to promote, but to not promote something that's changed your life is selfish. So that's the deal there. So that's why we share, right? We share because we care. And that's where it continues for me, and continues to be something that's a really big part of my life, and continues to be a bigger part of my life. So stick with it. If you're new here, stay here. They'll help you. Trust the people around you. Talk to the people that sponsored you. They have people that know stuff.
I love how you put that.
They just do. Trust them.
Yeah.
Out.
Out. She's out. That was, I so agree with that. I love your story. Thank you. I'm trying to find you on my screen, so my mind feels a little boggled as I'm like scrolling. There she is. There's Paige. Yeah. So love that. Thank you for sharing that, Paige. So we're gonna do a prize, because why not? And we love prizes.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be, by the way, guys, for a prize is going to be scrolling over in the chat. So if you're not chatting, make sure you're chatting in there. And so the first prize of the night is going to Cindy Peltier. You guys, she's 1 month in, which is super cool. Congrats. I'm so pumped that you started, Cindy, and we'll be in touch with you afterwards, okay?
Congratulations, Cindy and Paige. Amen, sister. Just all the amens. Thank you for sharing. Thank you to the person who shared with me. To not share is to not care. And that is not who we are. We care and love that. Thank you. All right. Well, now we get to hear from Miss Margot. Now I have to find her on my screen. I have to scroll over. Miss Margot, it's yours.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay. My name's Margot, and I'm a Ruby ambassador with Plexus, and I've been on the products for about 3.5 years now, thanks to Miss Lindsay herself, who pursued me really hard, which was a good thing. Pursue your friends really hard, because when you are sick and you are miserable and you think it's just the rest of your life, you're going to be stubborn. I was so stubborn. I was a 26-year-old young mama. I had a 6-month-old, our oldest son, William, who's now 4. but he was 6 months at the time, and I was a wreck. I kind of anticipated that postpartum would hit me hard because I had struggled with anxiety and depression for about 7 years. I was on many different medications, but the side effects for me just were not worth it. And so I had stopped at that point. So anxiety, paranoia, depression, the lows, like I was a mess hormonally, but I just thought that was just going to be my story. And so I didn't even think twice about that. I was having panic attacks about twice a week. And that again was for about 7 years of my life. And like Paige, I was a teacher before we had kids. I taught second grade. And so to have debilitating mental health issues. And then on top of that, I was always, always, always sick. I started teaching when I was 22 years old, and I was out so much. A cold for me would hit me like a freight train, and I would be out for weeks at a time, sometimes in the hospital. And it was really hard because doctors like yin yang me back and forth from a mono diagnosis to a bunch of different things, but never really pinpointing, just offering me Band-Aids that never helped. And so come back to 6 months postpartum with our son, and I developed this rash on my chest that doctors thought was inflammatory breast cancer. Praise the Lord, it was not, but it was a terrifying time in our young marriage and in our young life. We saw many different specialists, had many biopsies done, and pathology reports came back as autoimmune. Go figure. But we all know that autoimmune runs this broad spectrum. And so they couldn't land on a definitive diagnosis. So they said, we want you to start these steroid packs. We want you to start multiple medications and try these supplements too. It wasn't Plexus, but I was on a multivitamin, several probiotics, but nothing was touching this rash on my chest. And you guys, it was so painful. It was bruising me from the inside out, and my chest, my breasts were turning black. It was terrifying. My milk supply dried up. I was so devastated, and I had no energy. Like chronic fatigue had wiped me flat. And so I'm a very open person, and I was sharing about my journey and my struggles with all of this on Facebook. And Lindsay, who I had known for probably 7 years at the time, reached out, and she was like, I want you to try these probiotics. And I was like, no, I am already doing that. Probiotics don't help me. And she said, please try, like 2 or 3 more times. She ended up sending me a capsule in the mail, which she's like, this isn't going to do anything, but I believe in this so much that I want you to just reconsider. So my husband was at his wit's end. He was working full time, and he said, we're going to give it 60 days and just see what happens. And you guys, I'd had this rash for 3.5 months at the time. It went away completely in 2 weeks. My milk supply came fully in. My son's acid reflux went away completely. And that was just like the tip of it. Like it was mind blowing to us, and nothing else had changed. So, you know, slowly but surely over time, other things started to lift. My energy peaked. I was thinking clearly. I was getting out of bed. I wanted to do things with my son. And about 4 months in, my husband said, babe, you haven't had a single panic attack this entire time. Like you've been managing your anxiousness so well. You've been sleeping soundly. The paranoia wasn't coming out. Like it was such a gift. I get so emotional about it because I was given my life back in ways that I thought I was doomed forever, and I was young. So ever since then, I had a second pregnancy, and completely healthy. No more hyperemesis gravidarum. Like all of these things just started coming into place. And like Paige said, like I didn't know how much was linked to the gut, but so much was. And I swore I would never tell a soul about Plexus. But lo and behold, like you can't help but share when you experience hope. To hold that so tight again would just be so selfish. So it's a precious gift that we have the chance to share and to give to others. So anyways, that's a little bit of my story, and I'm so thankful. So thank you, Lindsay, again.
I'm just never gonna ever get over that. Like ever. Every time I hear it, it feels like the first time. So, I mean, praise the Lord, because he knew what he was doing in creating the formula, and I'm so thankful. All right. Thank you for sharing. Miss Heidi.
Margot, that's incredible. I mean, I've heard your story, but I don't think I've even heard all the details of that. That's just Does everybody else just feel like, oh, like, when it's like me, totally different story, and I'm not going to share it tonight. There's other ladies that are going to do some chatting, but it's exactly that. It's honestly when you feel like you've tried everything else and you just give it a solid go, and it's all in the formula. My own naturopath here locally said, Heidi, it's working because it's all in the formulation. And so I've never looked back either. It made me sit here and, I'm 5 years in this year and I'm still thinking of names. So I'm going to actually send to Rosanna to give away another prize. So you know what I want to have you guys do, just to like get it out of your mind basically, so you can concentrate on the rest. And we're going to show you a few things about your account. Drop a name in the comments of just anybody that came to mind. I mean, whether it was listening to Paige or to Margot, or you're just starting to, think of other people, just drop the name. You don't have to do anything with it. Just drop the name in there. It'll give you an entry to win another prize giveaway. And then also, you know what I also want to hear? What's the first product? Like, what kind of intrigued you? Was there one product? Drop the name of one product. Was it the pink drink? Was it the probiotic formulation? Pop the name in there and let us know. Maybe it was a triplex. Let us know. So one person you thought of and what product intrigued you. Because I'm actually super curious to know what it is that, that people come super interested in the most. So Rosanna, I'm going to let you go through those comments and do the prize.
And while you're doing that, Miss Kathy, would you please tell us your story?
I would love to. Hi, I'm Kathy, and I am here because of Margot. And it's funny that she says, she was never going to share, because I actually told her when she first invited me, no, thank you, but I will pray for you, because I just, had no interest in the product or in the business. And lo and behold, I too eventually joined after trying so many different things, cutting, because my issues were digestive. And I didn't realize it was more than just digestive. It was also, I was exhausted. I would go to work. I thought it was normal, because I would go to work in the middle of the afternoon. I'm like nodding off, and so thankful that when I opened my eyes, there was nobody around me, because I was sleeping, and I'm like, oh, this is normal, right? Because it happened every day. I would take a nap when I'm sitting at my desk. I'm falling asleep. I'm having bathroom issues like nobody's business. If I don't go right then, I have to go home and get a shower, because I'm going to go right then. I'm either in the bathroom or I'm going home and changing my clothes. It was bad. It was really bad. And I tried doing so many different doctors, and they, okay, yeah, let's try this for a while. Okay, let's try this for a while. Oh, no, it's not that. It's this. Let's try that. And it just seemed like when I would try something different, it might work for a month or two, but it didn't work for long term. And so finally, I'm like watching Margot post, and I'm like, Margot, you know how I never said I wanted to have anything to do with that? Of course, Margot, she's like the sweetest thing that ever lived. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, I think I want to join you, but I don't want to sell anything. I am not going to share it. I just want to try it. And I don't even think it's going to work, but let me try it. And so in about a month, I did notice a difference in my energy levels. And it took probably about 3 months before I started noticing a difference in like joint pain. And I would say the digestive issues, I'm 58 years old. So it took a little while for those digestive issues, probably six months or so before they really started clearing up. But I'm 2 years into it, and dairy is something that I was not supposed to be eating. And I got to tell you, my husband's birthday was today, and I made him lasagna, and I enjoyed it. And I made him a hot milk cake, and I enjoyed that too. So yeah, I'm just saying this stuff works. Give it time. Make sure you're consistent with it. And you got it. And if you want to pray for everybody, go ahead. That's a good thing too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I love that. You know what my favorite line was? I even wrote it down. I don't think it'll work, but I'll try it anyway. That's fantastic, Kathy. I'm glad you tried it anyway, so you could have lasagna and a hot milkshake today, like for real.
Me too.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so I got the names of 2 more winners. So I'll pop them in the comments as well, but we'll be in touch with you. Don't worry. So we got Cheryl Rempel. Oh, she's not on my screen. Where is she at? There she is. Okay, so we have Cheryl Rempel and Sadie Wilson. So whoever invited you here today, we will be in touch with you and we will get some gifts sent out your way, okay? So, Lindsay, were you up next?
I'm here. Okay. I'm going to take the next minute and a half to 2 to show you the most favorite part, my most favorite parts of your virtual office. So if you have not already been in your virtual office, then welcome to your virtual office. You need to get off tonight and say to the person who invited you, show me more in my virtual office. This is so fun, okay? But here are my 2 favorite parts. So this is my really handsome Enneagram 4 husband who I love so much, okay? His actual name is Joseph, but he never goes by that. Do not call him Joe. He would not think that was funny. He goes by Brent. We have got to get that fixed. But alas, here he is. Okay, so here we are just in your basic My Account screen. So when you get to your account screen, you see you have all these options over here on the left. The one I'm in right now is perks. Who knows about their perks? Raise your hand. Woo! Okay, so I actually, we just ordered on his account today, and I got 2 free bottles of product, and I still have 420 perks left, guys. I don't know about y'all, but thank you, Plexus, for rewarding me for buying the products that changed my life. I mean, it's like silly, ridiculously amazing. Okay, so I want you all to log into your virtual office tonight after this and go, where are my perks? Okay, so you're gonna go over here to the perks and you're gonna say, ooh, do you know you get 250 perks when you order your welcome pack? So you should all have at least 250 perks if you are a member. If you are a customer, you have this to look forward to. This is one of the things that we love so much about the membership benefits of Plexus. So you can go in and you can click redeem perks, and you will get to choose from any variety of product, and each product has a perks value associated with it. You would click that and it would add to your subscription for the next month. You would click redeem perks and it would get added. So I'm not going to go into all of those details, but I want you to know where to go to have fun. But remember, the most important part of your subscription is the PV value. Your subscription has to have a 100 PV value every month for you to earn these perks. So if you have trouble figuring out what products to take, you can ask any one of us and we'll be happy to tell you. So you can see right here, when you pull up your subscription, our total PV was 320 PV. We have a large family. I could very easily spend double that if I wanted to, because there's so much stinking stuff to love. This was a well-controlled order. I was like, ooh, what do I need right now? Now, all you need is 100 PV. So just remember that when you're shopping, double check. Did I do my 100 PV? Check, because you want those perks points every month. Perk points equal free product. That's on top of your wholesale value and your 15% cash back on your own product purchases if you're a member. Okay, so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful benefits. And of course, this is money in your pocket right here. We have a whole other event Thursday night at 8 o'clock where we're gonna show you how you can share these products just like the rest of us swore we would never do. We would never do this. And yet, here we are telling people what has changed our lives because we can't not tell. And so right here is your website. Now it obviously will have your name, but this is the thing that is going to take you from a wonderful person who loves Plexus products to the next wonderful person who loves Plexus, because they have gone out of their way to make my life so fun, so fun. Things like this, where I get to have community, but things like a paycheck that have brought my husband home from his full-time ministry job so he can pursue what he wants to do, which sometimes is hatching baby chicks. Guys, there is so much freedom in this business. So use that website and give it to everybody you know and say, I don't know about you, but I love these products and I think they could change your life too. All right, so that's your site. Make sure you save that in the most important place on your phone and anywhere else in your life. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna show you is up here in this virtual office spot. It's a little bit slow when you screen share, so I apologize for the delay. But all new ambassadors are going to have this place right at the top of your screen that is going to say, if you're a new ambassador, click here. Okay, so simple. So you're going to, maybe it will pull up, you're going to click here, and it's gonna have day 1, day 2, day 3. It doesn't get, see this? Click here. It doesn't get any simpler than the way Plexus has so beautifully and simplistically, is that a word? Simply laid it. I love making up words all the time.
I'll use it. I'll use it next time.
They have laid it out for us so simply. So your homework number 2, after you've checked your perks, is to go right here and work your way through the beautiful day 1, day 2, and day 3. You will find everything you could ever want to know about products, about how you would share with your friends, about where Plexus started and where we're headed. I can't say enough about how beautifully they've laid this out for us. So take advantage of that. Now, how do I stop my screen share? There we go. Okay, so any questions about the virtual office? If not, you can drop them in the comments, and then I'm gonna hand it off to Ruth.
Hey, you gave us homework, Lindsay, but it's fun homework. I love both of those things too. I've been directing all of my new ambassadors to that site because it just has everything, including a track it tool that comes in really handy for writing down little things that you're noticing. Because sometimes they're little things, like I noticed that I was sleeping better right away. And that might not be what you joined Plexus for. It might be something bigger in your mind, but you know, our body doesn't do the big things first. And there's layers of healing. Oh, and something about perks is Plexus just started a product of the month thing. And if you add active to your subscription this month, you get 50 extra perks to cash in. So if you haven't tried active yet, or you already love active, like make sure you have active in your subscription so you can get those 50 extra perks. So the big thing
Canadian, sorry, if you're Canadian, for us it's ProbioCA.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I didn't know that. Okay. Yay. I love that we're such like a mixed team. I love that. And Kathy already mentioned like the number one thing to see the results that you're looking for is consistency, right? It's true in every area of life, whether we're teaching our kids to read. I have 7 children, you know, whether it's building muscle, you know, whatever it is, consistency is really, really important. So take your products every day. Don't skip. You know, you don't want to skip your birth control, right? Because then you can't blame it. You can't blame it on your birth control if you're not consistent, right? Trust the process. Like all of these ladies that have shared, like it works. And there's thousands, like literally thousands of other stories. And if you're looking for a specific story, it's out there. You just have to search for it or ask your sponsor to help you find it. I already mentioned, be aware of the small changes and really print out, find that track it tool in your office and print it out, because it's really fun to celebrate those small changes. And it's really fun to look back and you have this consistency. And then, you know, a year in, or I'm almost 5 years in now, to look back and just see how far you've come, how far your family has come, how far your friends have come that you told Plexus about. My friend Karen that's on here tonight, she messaged me today and said that her blood pressure is better. And I'm like, yay, that's so exciting. Like, let's celebrate that. And I can't wait to hear the next thing. And energy, that was another thing she told me. And energy is something that a lot of people see right away, and it just keeps going, and it's like snowball, and pretty soon you're like, oh, these things I have to share. I just have to, whether or not I plan to in the beginning or not. Make sure you're drinking your water. A good rule of thumb is to drink half of your body weight in ounces, because as we are healing our gut, you know, toxins are going to be released, and we want to get those toxins out. So just drink all the water. Pee all the time, but drink all the water. So yeah, that was it. Just keep keep enjoying this journey. It's so much fun. And then it's fun to tell your friends. So if you have any questions for us at all tonight, I don't know if there's already any in the comment, but drop your questions in the comments and we will try our best to answer some of them. I can't promise that we'll get to all of them, but we will answer questions.
Perfect.
Back to you.
Yes, so we would love to just open it up for any questions. You are welcome to unmute and ask, or you can type them in the chat. But this is your chance to ask a large group, hey, what did you see about this? Or how do you feel about that? So while you're asking questions, I'm just gonna remind you again that Thursday night at 8 o'clock, we will be showing you even more in detail and giving you some great ideas on how you can share this with your family and friends. You don't even have to have your products yet. I have so many people who just grab one buddy because we know we do so much better. Did you want to help me? I'm sorry. With a friend. When we have somebody to do something hard, something new, something we've never done before, we do a lot better when we have a buddy. So I would say grab your favorite person who you know is going to love you, encourage you, but kick you in the butt when you need it, and say, will you please do this with me, right? They're going to get crazy discounts like you guys got, $10 membership, 10% off welcome packs, and all of those amazing benefits that I ran through that you guys get too. So any questions, please ask them. Otherwise, we're so thankful again that you guys took the time to get to know us. We can't wait to get to know your story. We anticipate that this time next year, you're going to be on here welcoming your new friends and telling your story of unexpected but totally radical healing. Right? All right. Everybody say amen in the comments. Love you all. I'm going to stop the recording and then I will let you all leave.